You gotta say action for me. I'm like a motherfucking movie star. You gotta say action.
I know used to them rapper recordings and whatnot with the go.
Yo, game within a game. My boy Jason, the all out, the all knowing Jason Lamar, or the most knowing.
The most known. I'm here for it. Yes, sir. Back with Ransom. What we doing?
Yeah, you know how we do. You know I got to freestyle this fucking name of this fucking episode and shit. So you know what? You know what? I'm so fucking sharp with it. You know what the name of this pod's gonna be,
What's that?
Jason? I know you're all knowing, but you don't know this shit.
It's
The name of
facts.
the name of this episode is called Inclusion.
Ooh.
Hey man, look, I'm good at this shit.
Even know where you about to take this, but I'm all the way here for this. Inclusion. Yes, sir.
I don't
Game
even
within
know
the
how.
game. Subtitle inclusion.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
even know how I
here.
come up with this shit, man. It's a
I don't know,
fucking
but you batting at 100 right now.
it's
This
a
is my
fucking
limited
gift.
sport metaphors.
It's a gift. Yeah, man. Look, I don't know. Am I the only one that doesn't want to fight for inclusion, assistance, compensation, support, reparations? Am I the only one that doesn't want to fight for that? Hold on. Let me rephrase that. Let's not say fight, right? Because most of these people would never fight for anything, right? So you can't ask a real fighter would he fight, but so of course he would fight. So that's the wrong word. So let's use complain. Would I complain about the inclusions or support or reparations? No, I would not. Right? So I don't have a savior. I don't have an oppressor either. I know there's no magical politician coming to pass a grant or a bill that will change my life for the better. I'm not going to wait for that, even if it did exist, right? I believe we have to change in order for anything to change. We have to change us, and that includes and that starts with yourself, right? I know that sounds fucking very corny and cliche, but it's true, right? It starts with you, and it starts with each individual saying, "Fuck what they got going on, man." They being the government. Let's say the government. Fuck what they got going on, man. Concentrate on your business, on your goals, on your passions, on your money, on your family, on everything you love. Concentrate on that. Pour into that instead of worrying about what they got going on, man. I know Trump recently did some with the DEI. I think that's what it's called. Um, I'm probably not the best qualified person to talk about that. So, but I would say this: me being me and a business owner, a black business owner, I wouldn't let anything stand in my way from me getting what I have to get, right? And you don't have to include me in anything. I don't need you to do anything for me. I don't need any tax breaks or anything. I don't need anything from anyone, right? I'm going to make it happen whether anyone likes it or not. I cannot be stopped. So um, for you to be, I don't want to say complain, but that's what it sounds like to me. Because it's not fighting, right? No one's fighting for this stuff. When I hear when people, yeah, we got to fight for. Are you actually fighting, or are you just asking? Are you fighting, or are you asking? Right? Hey, man, and I'm not one to shy away from a good fight, but yeah, sometimes I need to know what I'm fighting. And most of the times I don't want to be the only one fighting, right? While I look behind, you look around and everybody's fucking running or tweeting or posting or commenting, right? So yeah, I'm gonna just do what I do, which is work hard, continue to work hard, concentrate on my family, my businesses, my money, my finances. Keep continuing to grow and learn, right? read, research, and try to get better, man, day by day, man. So I'm not worried about what they doing or what they got going on, brother.
You're not trying to join the movement of tweeting for your freedom nowadays?
Yeah, nah, man, fuck all that, man. I'm trying to take mines, man.
140 characters just over and over again until someone gets annoyed and just gives you whatever the fuck it is that you've been asking for so you can
Yeah.
shut the fuck up because they don't want to
Right.
hear that shit anymore.
Yeah,
I
one day,
swear that's
right?
people, yeah, man, I swear that's people's strategy. Let's just annoy them so they give us what we want so we shut the fuck up. But
Yeah.
what you said is exactly it's the same exact place that I'm standing with it, right? It's self-sufficiency and self-determination because I know that people like to reference a lot of old things a lot of the time, right? Like back in the day, X happened, back in the day, Y happened during the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And not to take away from any of that, like that's a different time. That's a fucked up time. That people there faced a lot of hardships and difficulties. But the people that came up in that era sacrificed and gave up a lot so that we would have the ability or the opportunity. They weren't looking for someone to come and give them something and solve all of their problems, right? They just wanted future people to have the opportunity to go after something, to be allowed to create something, right? So they wanted the walls taken down. Like once the walls are taken down, it's up to you to walk along the path and whatever it is that comes with it. But I think that nowadays, somewhere between then and now, it got lost that their goal was the opportunity or the clear, not the clearance so much of the path, but the ability to walk down the path. But that got lost somewhere. Now what people are looking for is just handouts and saviors and someone to come in and solve all of their problems and to take away whatever it is that they're going through. They don't want to go through the struggle to have to get these things. They don't want to continue the fight, so to speak, is that, as you know, they started back in the day. Like if they opened up the fight to be where to be that everyone else has the opportunity to make something of themselves, the continuing on that fight would be to take that opportunity and to make something of yourself, to show that you could be more than all of the stereotypes and the statistics and all of that certain people paint you as. Like it's not up to those people to just look at you differently. It's up to you to show them that you're different. And running around asking everyone for handouts or grants or money or jobs simply because your minority is not doing that. This is looking for charity. This is looking for people to just give you shit simply because you exist the way that you are. Ironically, it's in the exact opposite direction of what it was before. It's you were being denied this because of your skin color, your background, whatever the case may be. Now you're being given a thing because of your skin color, background, or whatever the case may be, which turns around and has these other people being denied things because of their skin tone. It's just all you do is flip it, right? And if people say that they truly want equality, then you brought up reparations, and while I do partially understand the argument for the reparations thing, I feel like no one ever talks about what that's going to do for equality, right? Because imagine you're a broke ass white dude sitting in the middle of fucking Grits, Alabama or some shit, and you're a beat up ass trailer living with 14 family members, and then some random mother for your neighbor just gets given $5 million simply for fucking because, right?
I'm rich, bitch.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And then now all of these people, because there's people struggling of all backgrounds. It's broke. Mexicans, Asians, white people, black, everyone's broke, right? So what do you think it's going to do for equality if a bunch of random people get given millions of dollars out of nowhere while everyone else is struggling? All that's going to do is make other people hate you. Like that's not gonna help with that, if that is truly the ultimate goal, is togetherness, because everyone's so divided right now. And me personally, I think the goal as a whole should be unity, right? People want to fight amongst each other. I think that the bigger enemy is the higher ups, but that's a different topic as a whole. Sticking with this same thing, I think that, like you said, there's no savior, there's no oppressor. I know Trump got inaugurated this week, and a lot of people act like this is the return of the Antichrist, and other people act like this is fucking Jesus himself came back to Earth to bring up all of the low level people and tear down the systems that be, and he's going to rewrite the books of history, and nothing will ever be the same again, and he's just going to change everything, and neither of those things are the cases. And going back again to what it is you said about self-sufficiency, even if he was all of those things that people think that he is going to be, even if he was going to come and make America into the greatest nation for everybody in it, it will still only benefit you on an individual level if you are the best version of yourself. You have to be someone
Yeah.
who's qualified to take advantage of the opportunities, because people mistake, again, creating opportunities with getting handouts. Like, maybe he'll, even if he does make this the most prosperous thing in the world where everybody can succeed if they try, the key word is try. And if you're not going to work on yourself every day and be the person who's going to try, those opportunities aren't going to do you any fucking good. You're just going to watch everyone else excel, and you're going to be sitting there like, why is this not happening for me? Why am I being left out? Because you're not taking the initiative to do for self. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. You have to work on you. Like you said in the beginning, I don't think either of these people are my saviors or my oppressor. I don't want a fucking savior. I want to solve my own problems. I want to build the shit that I want on my own fucking merit, with my own two fucking hands, with my own strength, with my own discipline, with my own dedication. I want to do these things. I don't want someone to pop up and give me millions of dollars. I don't want someone to come over and hand me a fucking company simply because I don't look like the rest of the fucking people. I don't want any of that shit. I want to do it. And it is the people who want to do it for themselves who will excel in the economy that they think he's going to create. And I think that most people, it's again, the people looking for a savior, they're completely missing out on that. They're thinking that he's going to make something magical. No, best thing that he could do is provide you more opportunity. You still have to be the one to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and yeah, like when has that ever happened, right? Some guy comes in office and you've been magically granted anything, right? So,
They
and I
swore
hate to,
Barack was the savior a few years
right?
ago.
Yeah, what happened to that, right? So, yeah,
He drank the Flint water and said, it's all right.
yeah, right. How you? I don't even want to. I don't want to. I don't want to pile on the guy, but it's like, come on, man. You from Chicago, and during your presidency, your fucking your own city, has, goes to shit. How's that happen, right? But to say to kind of piggyback from what you were saying, you have to. I'm of the belief, right? You have to put yourself in positions to even be lucky, right? You have to put yourself in position to be granted luck, right? You just don't get lucky by saying, "Hey, man, I want my share. I want my share, man. I deserve my share." You don't. It doesn't work like that, right? You have to put yourself in position, right? And I don't like when people use examples like, let's just say, oh man, Oprah, Oprah was lucky, or this person was lucky, this person was lucky, man. It's easy for you to say, or listen, man, like luck doesn't luck. There's no such thing as luck. You have to put yourself in positions for good things to happen to you, right? So another question is, okay, Trump, he gets rid of this DEI thing. Now what, right? Now, what's supposed to happen now? What are you supposed to do now? That's these are the things. Some of the things I don't understand. Okay, Trump's in office. He won. Now what? Oh, I hate. I don't. Ah, man. It's a. What's the use of doing that? Put your head down. Go to work. Like, I don't understand. What are you complaining about? You can't do nothing about it. You cannot do anything about it, whether it be Trump or Kamala or Biden or fucking Clinton or Obama. It doesn't matter. You have to put yourself in position to do anything of substantial worth. If you're willing, if you're going to accomplish your goals, it has nothing to do with who's in the office. That's my opinion, right?
No, it's a fact. You brought up the DEI a few times. I want to come back to that in a minute, but it's a fact. People take these things and like back in November, regardless of who it is that you voted for and who won the next day, when the end of November comes, your rent's still due, your mortgage is still due, you got to pay the electric bill, you got to pay the light bill. Neither fucking Kamala Harris, or however you say your dumbass name, wasn't going to pop up and pay all of your bills for you. She wasn't going to make things free. Trump wasn't going to do it either. So your bills are due. You have kids to feed. You got women to provide for. Whatever your life looks like, it's up to you to make sure it continues continues running, right? So you could spend, like, there were people who sitting there talking about they want to be able to call out of work because of their stress from the results of the election. I'm like, if this is something that you consider hardship, your life is going to be very difficult. And that's what the problem is with a lot of these people and a lot of the stuff that goes on, is because some people do consider that to be hardship. The candidate that they wanted to win didn't win, and now they don't know how to handle it, so they need time off of work for mental health days to recover and stuff like that. And this is this type of frailty and this complete lack of resilience that has people in the position that they're in currently, is because they are sitting around. They did expect for Kamala to get elected and win and pop up and make everything good for everybody, and just offer people jobs because they identify as unicorns and there's only 2 of them, so somehow they're special and they need to be represented in all of these companies and whatnot. And they were just looking for all of these handouts because they thought this person was going to come and magically change their life. So they don't. But because they believe that, they don't need to take the initiative themselves to do the things that are required. And it's exactly what it is that we've been saying this whole time. Like, if you want a way, you have to find one. You have to figure out how to make one. And going back to what I said before, regardless of what happened in the past, nowadays, there is no laws, there is nothing along those lines that's saying that anyone can't be successful. Anyone could do whatever it is that they want to right now, at least in fucking America, which is where it is that we live. I can't speak for what they're doing over in Bangladesh, but I'm also not making a point to that, even though people like to throw out these extreme ass examples whenever I say something like that. What about Malaysia? I don't fucking know what's happening in Malaysia. I don't live in there. But here, you could do whatever the fuck it is that you want. You see it all of the time. There are all kinds of people doing all kinds of things from all different backgrounds. There's gay, straight, Mexican, Asian, black, white, midgets, tall people, fucking men dressed up as women, women dressed up as men, whatever the fuck it is that you would like to point out. There is someone who has done that thing and they are successful as fuck at a certain thing, not because they were lucky, not because something was given to them, but because they worked for it. Oprah was not a lucky person. Jay-Z wasn't a lucky person. Diddy wasn't a lucky person. Whoever it is that you would like to point to was not lucky. They were dedicated and they worked hard. Now, maybe they found themselves in a position that was fortuitous to them, but the point is still, you have to be in the position to capitalize on that. So if fucking Elon Musk could pop up to the random person on the street and say, hey, I will give you $1 billion if you can do X, but most people are nowhere near qualified to do whatever that X is. So if you haven't made yourself into that type of person who's able to do that thing, you won't be able to capitalize on this so-called luck. Like, people always say, if I had the opportunity, and I say, if you were qualified for the opportunity would have presented itself by now. You don't have things because you're not qualified to have things. If you're not the right type of person who can handle money, right? Look at lottery winners. Lottery winners are lucky. They picked a random set of numbers. They won $300 million. And what do? They fuck it up. And they are broke as shit because they have absolutely no idea what to do with money. That's what luck gets you. All the other stuff is a result of hard work and discipline and cultivating yourself into somebody who could be these things. Like, people say, well, Donald Trump's dad gave him $1 million. So what? Everyone can't turn $1 million into $1 billion. Most people can't turn $1 into $2. Most people have absolutely no idea how to make money. They go and trade their time in for money. That's not the same thing at all. You go to work for an hour, you make fucking $12. That's not the same thing as taking $12 and going on your own and figuring out how to make that into $20 and how to make that $20 into $60. So this is not a luck thing. He still had to qualify himself to be someone who was capable of handling that $1 million. And that's what people miss, because they want to believe that they're not in the position that they're in because of some universe magic or something like that, or they just weren't chosen or special. It's not any of that. It's you and what it is that you have done and qualified yourself for every time.
Well, yeah, that goes back to my original point. It's individual, man. It's individual. It starts with you at the end of the day, right? It starts with what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, right? What you're researching, what you're learning, what you're willing to do on a day-to-day basis. It's up to you, right? So you can't be trying to lean on someone else to give you anything, right? Even if it was promised to you, or you deserve it, or like, who cares, man? We always say that, me and you. Who cares, man? No one cares, man. Put your head down. Yeah, they don't care. No one cares, man. put your head down and go to work, man. No more complaining. Let's not complain anymore, right? I'm tired of hearing it. Or go online and you're complaining online. You could be reading a book. You could be researching. You could be doing financial research, trying to better yourself. I don't stay offline and stop complaining, man. Oh man, Trump, this and that, man. I told y'all, and what's that? And the whole I told you, man. Y'all happy with this now? And I was like, yo, what are y'all? Do you got time? Right? Like, where do you find time to do this shit? Like, where do you find time to do this shit? Like, I'm too busy to try. I'm too busy on a day-to-day basis trying to be successful. Like, I have no time to go online and say I told you so. If I did have time, I would be online saying, I told y'all not to get that jab, man. I don't got time to. I don't have time for I told you so's, right? I don't. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, I told Pam. Listen, I told y'all put that motherfucker. I told y'all to work out and eat right, and I told y'all not to be 300 pounds. I told you no 300 pounds people lived at 60 or 70. I told y'all we don't got time for that, right? We don't have time for that. So I don't get it. And going to the speaking on the inauguration, I see a lot of people speaking out against the people that performed at the inauguration. I'm probably wondering not wondering, but figuring those people got paid a lot of money. Maybe, right? I don't know. Maybe so. Whatever. That's not my business, right? The guy was elected already. They went to go do a job, perform, whatever the case may be. I don't pay attention to what celebrities do. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't affect me like that, right? Snoop, Nelly, fucking Jordan Clarkson. I don't care, man. Go perform.
I don't know who Jordan Clarkson is.
Yeah, I don't. I just said the name. I don't even know. Like, whatever, man. Just do. I don't care, man. Like, what? Like, where do people find the time to care about these things? These things don't matter, right? Snoop performing at an inauguration doesn't matter. And I'll ask you this: do we hold these celebrities to not a different standard, but a certain standard, a higher standard, perhaps? If the average person gets offered $1.5 million to go do something, they're probably going to do it.
The average person would kill half of their family for $1.5 million. Right. These people are so fucking self-righteous with this shit. It's very easy to sit somewhere and say, I would never do this for $1.5 million, knowing good and goddamn well that no one has even offered you $1,000 in your life. You have absolutely no idea what it is that you would do when presented with this type of money. You know what? We even spoke whenever we were first talking about doing this. What happens if someone pops up and offers $100 million? What I say? No one has ever offered me $100 million. I have an idea of what it is that I would like to say, but it's also very hard for me to tell you that until I've been in that position, right? Yep. So, but most people lack the self-awareness to know that. So they just run around with their little self-aggrandizingness of, well, I would never support this person for money because my causes are more important to me. You don't have any fucking causes. You just have a bunch of shit that you ramble about. But the point is, going back to the celebrities, people, I don't know. I think that a lot of people like to live their life vicariously through these people. So they expect them, like, you'll hear people all of the time talking about it's like when, like, let's say Drake, for example, right? People get mad at Drake because he doesn't make any sort of political commentary or stances or anything like that. Like, somehow Drake owes you that. But again, let's say Drake does do that and he makes a political stance. Then you have half of the people are going to get mad at him for not saying the other shit. They just you don't want him to take a stance. You want him to say what it is that you think so that you can get validation for your opinion through him. So people, it's really fucking weird, and people are attacking like Snoop, like Nelly for it. Like, I don't know what their political fucking leanings, feelings are, and I honestly don't give a shit. But the bigger point is, why the fuck can't Snoop want to support Donald Trump if that's what he's doing? Why
Right.
can't Nelly want to support
I don't
Donald
know.
Trump if that's what he's doing? Like, he's free to have these things. People attack, going back to fucking Kanye, people attacked him because he supported Donald Trump. He's free to do that. He has a different opinion than you. Oh no, such is life. Like, they don't owe you to think the same things as you are told that you think, because most people don't even think these things themselves. But it's just a very strange world. And ironically, if the same people, like you said, who has time, if these same people who were sitting there tweeting about Snoop Dogg performing at his Snoop Dogg Sold Out, if you weren't so wrapped up in this, then you could have made yourself into somebody who was worth some shit, who was doing some shit. Maybe you could have put yourself in a position where you would have been invited to this inauguration. You could have stood on your fucking principles and said no. But no, instead you're sitting there in some dark ass corner somewhere tweeting some shit about what multimillionaires are doing while being a poor person.
Here's the scary part. Here's the scary part, right? I think while they're sitting there tweeting and commenting, I think that's them trying to be somebody. I think that's the scariest part.
I agree with that.
Yeah, they're taking part in something, right? That they feel that's bigger than them, and that's what they feel. I don't agree, but I to me that's the scariest part, where people think they have this voice. They really think they're a part of something by tweeting and commenting and taking a stand online, right? And they really believe that they're making a change, or they believe that they're a part of something that's bigger than themselves. And I think they have an effect. That's and to me that's the scariest part, that people actually think that tweeting and commenting and posting and putting stuff on your reels and TikToks are really making a difference, rather than actually going out and making a difference, whether it be by researching or working out or just concentrating on their own lives. Like, I really think that that's the scariest part to me.
I agree with you, and I think this is a great point that we walked ourselves into for a real game within a game moment right here, because the question is, how did people come to think this shit, right? How is it that people think that them throwing out a tweet or making a story post? I remember back with George Floyd, where everyone's like, make their profile picture black for a day or some shit like that. Like,
That pissed me
that was
off, man.
fucking nuts, right? But how is it that people came to think these things, right? Like, but you even see, like, before, where they were advertising Twitter with join the conversation. And I think that this is just my own personal perspective, but something that gets pushed, right? Because when you're telling people that them hashtagging something or putting up a story or sending out a tweet or, I don't know, sharing a post or whatever the fucking case may be, right, is actively them making a difference, then that right there, they do this little step and they get their little dopamine hit from, ooh, I did something good for the world, and they don't feel the need to go out and do more. So people are placated with this nonsensical shit. Like, I do think that there are, not all of them, not even most of them, but I think there are a good number of the little tweet activist people who, if they didn't believe that was making a difference, might actually go out and try to do some shit. Now, I don't know to what degree shit that they would do. I'm not saying it's a large portion of them, but I do think that there are some of them.
Is that by design?
1000%. It's the same thing where they encourage the protests with the signs, right? To say the protests and the signs are changing shit, right? But people marched all of 2020. The police are still funded. I'm not saying whether they should be or not, but they marched for that, and the police are still fucking funded. They marched for all of the abortion shit and the women's rights, and ain't a motherfucking thing changed. What's the marches doing?
Did we marched? I mean, I'm fucking up. You know, sometimes I'm all over the place, but we marched to defund the police.
That was part of what they were talking about in 2020 with the George Floyd shit. That was a whole shit. Defund the police. That was a whole entire thing.
Are you fucking kidding me? Defund the police, right? Are you? Look, bro, look. I've been a fucking hey, man. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real, Jason. I know you find this funny. Look, and this is coming from I used to be a career criminal, right? Uh, I wouldn't even advocate for that. I wouldn't even want to defund. Now that I'm a law abiding citizen, are you fucking crazy? Not. Why would I want to defund the police? Why would I want to do that? Right? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, bro. I'm sorry. I interrupt. Like when you said, I'm like, what? What are you? Is that serious? Were you joking? Why would anybody want
That's
to
some
do
real
that?
shit.
Why would?
Because,
Why would? Look, man. Look, me. Like I said, I'm painfully simple. So it's like, all right, the police beat somebody ass. Yeah, I've seen that one before a million times, right? So what people tend to do is not look at these careers as, or the people doing these careers as human, right? Doctors and lawyers and teachers and like these guys are human, right? So always put myself in other people's shoes. Like, man, listen, if I was a fucking police officer and I would honestly, I might beat somebody ass one day. Like somebody might get their ass whipped one day. If I'm feeling like that, it could happen. It can happen, right?
I mean,
If I'm a
I'm not a
doctor,
police officer and I've punched someone because they made me mad. Like,
hey man, look, shit happens, right? It's these are human beings we're dealing with, right? But when it comes to defunding or not, okay, so what do we do? What do we do if that actually happens? If we march for this, hey man, fuck the police, man. Let's get the motherfuckers out of here. And now there's no police. Now what do we do?
see,
Right?
that's so part
We
of the
start
thing
looting.
is like you can go fucking crazy, right? But part of the shit is I think that sometimes people are encouraged to take the most outlandish and ridiculous version of a stance and not realizing that that kills their own cause, right? Like there's a big difference. Like what is it? The ACAB, it's all cops are bastards, right? Like that's a ridiculous stance
What?
to take. And yeah, that's a thing.
The fuck
And
is that?
it's like to say people who say it's like the people who say all white people are inherently racist, right? Like these are ridiculous stances to take, and ultimately it hurts your own cause. Like when you start talking about, okay, you want police reform, you want them to need more sorts of training or whatever the fucking case may be, whatever it is that you want. These are reasonable arguments, but then
Yeah.
you take it to defund the police, and now you sound like an insane person. When you talk to some degree about some like racial sensitivity training or whatever the fucking case may be, okay, fine, maybe that could benefit some people. But then when you go all the way with all white people are inherently racist, like you're hurting your own causes when you take these extreme versions of reasonable things. And I also think that that's something that is subtly encouraged in people as well, because it prevents a lot of shit from ever actually getting done. Like because the shit that you're protesting and demanding winds up being something fucking stupid and half
That can
baked,
never
right?
happen.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So but you're advocating for just the dumbest fucking shit in the world without realizing exactly like it is that you said. What happens in this scenario? And I don't know that anyone was specifically saying going for the eradication of all police, but who knows? People are weird. But the point is, people complain now about shit going on, right? People complain about weak people already struggle going throughout the world with stronger than them people who disregard the law and stuff happening to them, right? What do you think is going to happen if you remove the consequences or the law from doing shit? It's going to be fucking chaos and anarchy, and all of you people who are sitting there online tweeting are going to have long fucking days, and not very many of them.
You're gonna have people like me climbing in your damn windows.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And there's nothing you're gonna be able to do to stop it. So and it'd be the main people. It'd be the main people that's saying these things, and they're the ones who's going to need to call the police. That's the crazy part to me.
Oh yeah, it's it's always these are the people who don't think these things through because they're not familiar with real life consequences
Yeah.
of stuff, right? Like for for all of the bad interactions that people have with the police, whether it be of that person's fault or the police's fault, it happens in both directions. I got my
Yeah.
jaw broken by the fucking police when I was young.
Yeah.
Completely my fault. Fucking AK on the backseat. What am I doing driving around like a fucking idiot?
Mm.
So anyway, the point is, for every bad interaction that someone has had with the police, the fact that the police exist have prevented a lot of people from getting fucking murdered in public places, from being shot up.
Absolutely.
Like, I know I'm not the only person who has pulled up or who has been cut off by somebody, and then they pull up beside me at the stoplight, and I'm like, man, I should shoot this motherfucker's whole car up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm not going to do it because I'm not an insane person, and it's illegal. But it's a deterrent, and you have these certain things in place, and these are the people who are very unfamiliar with how cold the world can be, who want to shut off the heat, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. They always go with the minority of things that can happen, right? It's always, oh man, the police killed this black guy, or the police killed this woman, or this police. But if we really go to the odds of when and how these things happen, they shouldn't happen, but they happen, right? Because it's life, right? And is it the majority of the times? Like, I've been stopped by the police and chased by the police and beat up by the police. Never one time did I think, okay, I probably won't be able to get out this one, right? They might murder me or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, because obviously it does. It just doesn't happen to the point where we get to the argument where we say, let's defund the whole departments.
Reform and eradication are two wildly different things, but people, again, they want to go to the extreme because they have no real world experience with anything. And this sounds like a good idea until someone's kicking in your door at 10 p.m. because there's no repercussions. It sounds like a good idea until you cut somebody off and they show up beside your window and shoot up everybody in your car because nothing's going to happen, right? But to them, these aren't realities. These are just concepts and shit that you see on TV or hear about. Like, they've never seen, experienced, or really known anyone who is some variant of anything along those lines. So it's easy for them to call for certain things, but that's just,
I don't like that weak. To me, it feels like a weakness, right? I don't like weakness. I don't like the weak speech, man. Oh man, like the whole I've heard this before. Trump is in office, and now, these Trump supporters, man, they're getting out of hand. Or, to me, that's just weak. Like, I'm not like, why are you? What's going on? Why are you are you threatened? Well, I can't. I went over to the store and there was some Trump guys in there, and I'm like, nah. Yo, you scared? Get a dog, man. Like, what's the that's that type of weakness in your and I don't subscribe to that type of stuff, man. I just don't, and I don't agree with it. I don't. It makes me mad. It makes me mad that men speak like this, right? Oh man, yeah. Now they're getting getting out of hand. Now they're getting out. What, are you scared? What like? I don't understand what is going on. Like, when I go outside, I'm not thinking about, oh, this good man. Look, there's a Trump supporter, man. He might
like Trump.
Yo, man, he got the red hat on, man. I don't give a fuck, man.
What does that mean? What's he gonna do?
Yeah, what? Let me clutch on my wallet. Hey, babe, hide your purse, man.
This is the thing, man. People go with this shit for the most part, regardless of how people feel about you. For the most part, if you're cordial and respectful to people, they will be the same thing back to you, regardless of how they feel about you. That's just fucking life. Yeah. Again, because there's consequences for doing otherwise. But for the most part, you can walk the majority of places smile and nod at the person. Worst case scenario is they don't smile and nod at you back. Like this is no one is running around out here. Yo, who you vote for and beating you up for that shit? Like get the fuck out of here. This is not some weird gang shit. Like you're not about to get jumped because you're in the wrong voter territory or some shit like that. People support Trump. That's cool. And you want to run with this narrative because this is what you've been told from all this fear mongering shit that he is super racist and hates all of the fucking black people and wants all of this. Like he's not on fucking Method Man and G Unit mixtapes and shit back in the day.
Right? Like, I know, man. Like it's crazy, man. Like it's crazy to me, man. And the crazy part is when he was cool, right? Everybody loved Trump when he was. Oh man, everybody loved Trump back in the day. Me, I never really had an opinion on him, and I still don't. I still don't have an opinion. I think he says a lot of stupid shit, and so does Kamala and Biden and the rest of these motherfuckers. They all say he's a bunch of stupid shit. I don't see what's so special about this guy. Either way, right? Either I hate him, like, why do you hate him? Or I love him, like, well, why? I don't see the big deal. I don't see it. I'll say this, right? And I might get some flack for this, but I'll say this, right? I think that side, and I'll repeat, I don't have a side, but I'll say that side, being the Republican side, I think they read the room better. Like I said, I'm painfully simple. I just think they read the room a little better and they played their cards better than the other side. That's how I look at it. So I could see as a man, I could see part of the attraction with Trump's campaign and what he has surrounded, what he's surrounded by. I could see the attraction by, I could see it, right? Like I said, I think they read the room a little better. I think they used some truths to their advantage. Instead of the pandering, right? Instead of the pandering, I think they went more to the truthful side. And I think that it was intentional. I think that they read the room. I think the Democratic side, the Democratic Party side, I just think they was painfully unaware of how people were thinking at that moment. They just wasn't reading the fucking room. Like no one wants to see Megan and this person to perform and and Beyonce and this. It kind of was like, oh, we kind of a lot of people seen through it. A lot of people did see through that stuff, and I think the other side used some truth, to their advantage. Whether they try to implement these truths, probably not. What party ever does, right? But I think that they used that as their strategy more than pandering, and I think it worked.
I also think that the other side, being Kamala and them, got too caught up or overplayed their hand trying to push all of this weird shit on everybody. They got the fucking Secretary of Health as a fucking dude in a dress, dressed up as a fucking woman with a boob job or whatever. Then they got this. They had that bald-headed motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got this bald-headed motherfucker who's in a dress, who's stealing fucking luggage out the airport and shit. And they focus so much of their shit on getting all of this weird shit approved, and everybody is racist and all of this DEI shit. And I think that because of what has been allowed to be said on social media and what hasn't for the last little while, they kind of overestimated the amount of people that really gave a fuck about that shit, and the amount of people who were like, nah, we don't want anything to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah, I agree with the reading the room, and the a lot of the shit came across as fucking pandering, like her cooking collard greens in the fucking bathtub and getting Beyonce to come speak and Megan the Stallion. It's like, why? And not only that, why is it? This is not a knock to fucking Megan the Stallion. It's just she's not my personal cup of tea musically, but I don't have anything against her as a whole. I don't know enough about her to give a fuck in either direction, but the fact that this is what it is that you thought people would get people to vote for you is offensive as shit, right? It's you're here, this is a political campaign. This is you talking about the future of people's lives and the economy and how it is that they're going to be able to go and maneuver throughout the world for the next 4 years. You're like, listen to this party music, and like what, like this is not appropriate for what it is that's going on here. Like, why didn't you bring, if you want to address a certain audience, why not bring up some sort of intelligent person who can speak something or say something about all of the good that you might do? If you want to aim at the culture that you obviously wanted to aim at, there's a lot of people who are doing
Absolutely.
good in that space. You could bring the fucking Earn Your Leisure dudes to come up there and talk about
That would have been
financial
great.
literacy and how, that's what I'm saying,
That would have been
how your
great.
campaign, how you being president is going to affect people like this. You bring fucking Wall Street Trapper, you bring fucking 19 Keys up
Yeah.
there to philosophize about some shit and talk about why it is that you would be the best person for this and how this will impact your future. Somebody who's saying something intelligent and useful to you. Again, this
That would
is
have
not a
been reading the
knock to the
room.
fucking,
That would have
that's
been
what I'm
reading the
saying. This
room.
this is not a knock to fucking Megan the Stallion or her music. This is just not the appropriate venue for the shit. It's like you don't go into fucking into a funeral and play Heat by 50 Cent. That's crazy. Like
Right.
you
Right.
gotta, again, read the room and do
Read the
something that's
room, man.
useful to people. Like people want to know how their lives are going to improve, not ooh, you can turn up. Like that's degrading and demeaning as shit to people, and they didn't even realize that. And that's again, like you said, reading the room. That's part of the reason why I feel like it is that they lost with that shit, and people aren't as stupid as they believe or
Yeah.
manipulated in that way. I think they overplayed their manipulative hand.
And the way I look at it is like, I don't think we do. I mean, I'm not. I didn't vote. I never vote. I've never voted. I don't think I would ever vote. Um, Not my thing, right? It'd have to be a hell of a candidate. I'd say that. Let's say that, right? It would have to be one hell of a candidate for me to go in that booth and vote for anybody. And at the end of the day, I don't vote for this reason. It makes no difference to me, man. Oh, Rand, you're selfish, you're this and that. It makes no difference to me. I am going to be me, whether it be motherfuck. I don't care who's in office. I'm going to be me regardless. So that's why I just don't. I don't find the need to go in a booth and mark on a ballot who I'm voting for. I honestly believe that we've been reduced to voters, consumers, right? We're no longer, I'm no longer Randy, you're no longer Jason. You are a consumer one, voter one, whatever. You are here, you are a number, you are a ballot, you have a price tag. That's how they look at you. I'm neither, right? I don't want to go through my life consuming, right? Consuming everyone else's shit. Oh, buy this car, buy this Gucci bag, God, buy this shirt, buy this, oh, vote for me. You're getting pulled in all these different directions, and you're not even concentrating on what can make you better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 1,000%. And I think that goes back to what we were talking about people tweeting thinking that they're making a difference. And like you said, regardless of who's the president, I'm going to do the same things that I'm going to do tomorrow,
Absolutely.
because that is what it is that I need to do, because that's the path that I'm on. Whoever is in office does not change that. And in regards to the tweeting thing, the best thing that anybody could do if they want to make a difference is focus on becoming the best version of themselves. If you get yourself right, if you get your mind right, if you get yourself in shape, if you get your finances in order, if you get your house in order, like that will have, like, it seems like it's a selfish thing to say that you're just worried about you, but it's not, because you becoming the best you will have a ripple effect, right? There's other people in your life. Other people are going to see that. You can help these
Right.
people do things in other ways, and they can help they can help somebody else in another way, and it just carries on like that. Because all of the president isn't going to change anyone's lives on an individual level. It doesn't really fucking matter. But all of you can change your lives. Every single person, you can change your life on an individual level, and every single person who does will affect at least one other fucking person, who will affect at least one other fucking person, and you carry it out that way. So it's not to look for someone else to come in and make everything right so that you could be right. It's for
Jason,
you to make.
it's too much work.
Yeah, and that's what they all say. But there's a saying, like, people always call these things like cliche, but they're cliche for a fucking reason. Like, be the change that you want to see. If you want the world to be a better place, you need to first become a better person. You have absolutely no business sitting there saying what this should be and what this should be when you still have a laundry list of things that you should be. You would talk about what the government should do with their finances, but you're broke as shit. The fuck do you know? You even have a business having an opinion on this. You could barely pay your rent. What are you talking about their deficit for? What about your deficit? You're overdrafted every 2 weeks. Fix that first before you start talking about everybody else's shit. You want to talk about the food in America and all of that shit, but you're fat as fuck. You can't stop from fucking eating it. Take care of that first. Get your diet in order. Get your family's diet in order. Get your girl. Get your fucking kids. Get your parents. Get all of their shit together by getting yourself together. And then again, you got to start small. Start in your own community. But you can't do shit until you're someone who can do shit. And that's really the only fucking thing that you could do. You could sit there and rally all day and all of this other shit, and it's not going to do a motherfucking thing other than make you feel like you've done something. And even when people, you could go get into politics and shit too, but everyone gets to a certain level and they find out that they have to play the fucking game. That's exactly what, there's a little clip with Putin where he's talking about all these people coming to office trying to be president, and they have all of these grand ideas. Then they get elected, and a bunch of people who come who in suits like mine come and sit down and tell him how shit actually works. So all you can do, you want to, people swear they hate the system, but then they participate in the system to the
All
fullest
day,
fucking
every
degree.
day.
If you think the system is holding you down, disregard that shit. Disregard their schooling, learn yourself. Disregard the food that they push on you and figure out how to feed yourself. Disregard what they tell you to do and figure out what to do on your fucking own. They want you to go get a job and read these books, find different books to read that's actually going to help you create your own fucking businesses, create your own money, get yourself in shape, all of this shit. Do your own fucking research, get your own knowledge, all of this. If you are really against the system, then you should not be participating in the shit the same way that people do. And voting for somebody within that system, thinking that they're going to change that system, is completely fucking stupid. If you play a video game, no matter what it is that you do, no matter what cheat codes you think that you're putting in, you are still limited to the rules of that video game. You're never going to wind up playing Madden while you have Grand Theft Auto in your fucking system. So if you want to change the game, you have to change the game.
You got to change the game, right? And you know, we dropping jewels, right? But what I would like to give to people is a way out, right? What would be your first what would be the first thing Jason Lamar does to start with? All right, I'm gonna give you a scenario. You're overweight, right? You're probably like the average. You're overweight about 20, 25 pounds, 30 pounds, right? Let's say you're overweight. You're working a dead end job that you hate. You have no financial literacy whatsoever. You're not in a relationship, or you're in and out of different relationships with different women. Nothing seems to be going right. And you're someone who's big on, not big, but big into social media and what's going on social media, and the celebrities and the politicians and who's doing what. And what would be the first thing you would do to get out of your current situation if you were this person?
The very first thing that I would do is accept that I am fat because I fucked up and made myself fat. It wasn't my genetics. It wasn't my parents. It wasn't some mystical eating disorders. I ate too goddamn much food, didn't exercise enough. Secondly, my job sucks because I suck. I'm working the only job that I'm qualified for. People have this really weird thing where it's like, I deserve to be paid more. No, the fuck you don't. You're worth what you're getting paid. If you were worth more, you would be making more. So, very first thing, all of this, take full accountability for my situation. This is what it is that I have done. Secondly, because I am the one who have fucked up my situation, it is on me to change my situation. I have to be the one to improve this shit. So I would dedicate all of my free time to learning or finding some sort of way, some sort of path that I would like to walk. People, you work 40 hours a week. Okay, cool. I have mad other free hours. I have taking out sleep. I probably got damn near 100 other free hours in the week that I can use to change my situation and figure out a way out of this, a way out of the so-called rat race, a way to make some sort of other money, a way to better myself. And that's what I would dedicate myself to doing, is building myself better, getting myself in shape, getting my mind right, and learning a skill. Me personally, I would say sales, because it's like one of the most universally applicable things ever. But then if I'm already on social media, people use a lot of platforms really stupidly, right? Like if you could go on Netflix and you could spend your whole entire day watching the fucking Kardashians and random Marvel movies. I don't know if those are on Netflix, but you get the point. Or you could watch documentaries and learn something. You could spend all day on social media watching other people do shit that you're never going to be able to do, and watching other people gossip about other people. Or you can go on social media and you can learn how to trade stocks. You can learn how to start a business. You can learn how to work out. You can learn how to eat right. You can learn how to invest in crypto. You can learn how to flip houses. You can learn how to buy and sell vending machines. You can learn all kinds of shit. There's all kinds of skills and trades that you can learn on Instagram. So the same, or YouTube, or Twitter, presumably. So the same places that you entertain yourself, you can educate yourself. And you're already on here spending this time anyway, so you might as well get something out of it and stop following all of the negativity and all of the gossip and all of the people talking about a bunch of random bullshit that isn't doing anything but clogging up your fucking mind. And you can replace all of that shit with people who will, again, improve your mindset, who will improve your skill sets, who will do all of these things, who will give you some sort of direction to go. There's even separate from paid, like people have this thing where it's like, if you pay somebody for a course, it's a scam. That's fucking stupid. But separate from that, there's a bunch of free shit out there everywhere. There's free information all over the place that you could find how to do shit. I used to flip at wholesale houses. I learned how to do that from Googling. Well, I learned enough of it from Googling that I was able to meet other people who could teach me more about how to do it. But you could go learn whatever the fuck it is that you want to. So I would take all of that free time that I spend doing a whole bunch of bullshit nothingness, watching Netflix and scrolling through bullshit on social media, and learn a motherfucking skill and how to better my life.
Yeah.
What about you, sir?
Yeah, you know what? The first thing I would do is change my mindset. Right? I would change my mindset. And how do you do that, right? Me, you change your mindset by failing and learning to adapt to failure, right? Because you do not win. Look, failure is inevitable, right? So is winning, right? Both go hand in hand, right? So if you can deal with failing 100 times out of 101 times to possibly get that one win, if you can, because that failure that you experience, that gives you a callus that you need to survive, right? And when I say survive, I mean survive the journey on the road to becoming a better person, right? So failure gives you that callus, and it's one thing to learn how to do something. Or I went on YouTube and learned how to do it, but it's another thing to go out and actually try to execute, right? And try to experience the ups and downs of actually doing said activity, right? Well, I learned how to do this on Google. Yeah. Well, you actually had to go do it then, right? Because you can learn whatever on YouTube. I learned a multitude of things on YouTube, right? Um, I'll give you an example of my personal experience, right? So I'm I rap for a living, as many may know, but what many do not know is that um, I record myself. On many occasions, I mix and master myself. I'm in the studio by myself, right? Every day, everything you hear from me, it's me. I do it myself. I did not want to take this road, right? It's the road less traveled, but it's the road that got me here, and I accepted it, right? So, and my wife would tell you, I've stood up many a nights learning how to record myself, even to get a record together, right? Is one thing to write the lyrics, and now who's going to record the lyrics? Well, I don't know. Well, this person doesn't want to record me, or I got to wait for this person. I don't want to wait, because I know if I wait, I'm not going to be as successful as I can be if I don't wait. So
Mm.
I need to learn. I need to learn how to do it now. So I would learn. I would stay up all night learning how to record myself. Then I learned to record myself. But then after that, I want to be good at it. I didn't just want to be able to just press record and just record these raps. I wanted to be good at recording. I wanted to be good at recording the best lyrical performance I can record, not just on my end rapping the raps, but actually recording the raps. What levels should I use? What frequencies and should I cut out and all this other stuff? I dug in deep, right? I probably didn't need to, but I did, because I wanted to be great, right? I say all that to say it's one thing to Google and learn and educate yourself, but it's another thing to actually go out there and fail and bump your head and scrape your knee and break your fucking limbs and heal up and then go do it again. And then fail and break your knee and scrape your knee and bump your head and then heal and go do it again. Right? And at some point you break out the other side and you become someone you probably didn't even think you could become, right? Because you've survived these failures. So that's what I would tell someone. That'll be the first thing I would tell someone. You got to prepare yourself for the failures, the ups and downs, not just the wins, because everybody's good when it's winning time, right? Everybody's good when it's winning time. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's fucking, hey man, everything. But who are you when things are not going the way they're supposed to go? Who are you? That's the person I pay attention to, right? That's the person I pay attention to. The person that's losing and his attitude. How is he taking this loss? Right? And that's why people like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, they're so revered, because we see how they act during losses. Okay, we know how wins are, right? But you pay attention to these people and you start to notice their characteristics when they lose. Like, damn, that motherfucker's a dog, man. He's a dog. He hate losing, man. Oh, he came back the next year better. Oh, he lost. He came back the next year better. You start to revere these people because of who they become during losses. Not necessarily the wins, the losses, right? So once, and we said this before, but that's what kind of separates a spectator from someone who jumps inside the Coliseum to shed blood, man. Being scared of failure. And that's what holds most people back. Being scared to fail. Right? So that's the first thing you need to do to hold yourself accountable, is not be scared for someone to call you oh, he's stupid. Oh, what is he doing? Yeah. That's their job to do that. They're there to do that. Right? And that's another subject for another day. We call those drifters, right? We know what those are.
Oh
Right?
yeah, that's a that's a good topic, but that's a topic for another time. But like you said,
Absolutely.
that's really good Really useful advice, because I think, like you said, so many people are afraid of the failure that they never start to begin with, so that they never have to experience it. But I always say, at the end of the day, the only true failure is to either quit or to not try. If you do anything for long enough, you will succeed at it. It's just the willingness to keep going, even though it doesn't work out how you planned it the first time. Nothing's gonna work out as you planned it the first time. Hell, you know how to do all of this recording shit, but doing it fucking forever. And the first time we tried to record some shit, didn't work the fuck out. Such is life. But you pop
Right.
back up, and you keep going, and that's exactly like you said. The times that you fall down are the times that you learn from. That's where you develop the strength and the resilience, and the ability to keep your composure when things get difficult. That's when you develop all of the necessary traits. All good character traits are developed during difficult shit, right? It's the ability to deal with difficult shit. Discipline is the ability to do some shit that you don't want to do. Being brave is doing some shit despite the fact that you're afraid. Keeping your composure is being able to maintain yourself despite the fact that things aren't going your way. And the only way that you're ever going to learn to deal with pressure is to put yourself in a situation in which you are pressurized.
Hmm.
That's just how it works. So exactly, excuse me, exactly what you said. You could read fucking all day. You could go online and read all the articles that you want about swimming and watch YouTube videos, but you're not gonna know what it's like until you jump in the fucking pool. You feel the water around you, and it's not gonna go how it is that you expect it to go in your mind. But that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's how you learn. That's how you develop all of that shit. That's how you get good at doing stuff. And also, the fact that it's not going to work out means it's not easy, and the fact that it's not easy means that everybody is not going to do it. And why would you want to do some shit that everyone is sitting around doing? If you look at the masses of people, no one wants to be the fucking masses. Do you want to be a out of shape broke motherfucker with a shitty ass relationship and a car that you don't want and a house that you don't really give a fuck about, looking up to all of these people that you're never going to meet who are doing things that you don't have the courage to do? That's what most people do. And that's the easy path. That's what the easy path gets you, is a life that you don't fucking want. So you need the hardships and the difficulty, and a byproduct of the hardship and the difficulty is failure. But it's all about what it is that you're going to do with that failure. You're going to let it, or is that the end of your journey? Because that's entirely up to you. There's no rule book saying that just because something doesn't work out the first time that you can't go again, that you can't go at it again. No, you want to ride that fucking bike, you fall over, you scrape your knee, you start crying, and you know what, you realize it's okay, it's not the end of the fucking world. You pick it back up because you want to ride your bike with the rest of the kids, but you got to learn fucking how first, and that comes with falling down.
Hmm.
And another good thing about the failure thing is, once you fail, like, it's much scarier in your mind than it is in reality. Like, the
Hmm.
idea that you're going to fail at something is way worse than what it feels like for something to actually not work out. It's like, oh man, but you know what, it's not the end of the fucking world. And now you have a lesson, you've learned something, you've figured out at the very least what not to do, so that you could keep going. And that's also how you find out if you really truly want to do some shit, if you're willing to go
Hmm.
through shit to get it. Like, we talked before, and again, this is another topic for another episode, but we talked about how long it is that you were going at this rapping shit before it started to go the way that you wanted it to. And that's just, all of that time is when you show yourself that you really want to do the shit. It's very easy to have all of these dreams and ideas in your mind, but when you find out if you really truly want it is when you go for it and it doesn't fucking work out, and it doesn't work
Hmm.
out over and over and over and over again, and you're still like, no, this is what the fuck it is that I am going to do, is this thing here. I don't care what it takes, I don't care what it is that I have to do, I don't care how many chances or trials I have to have, I'm going to make it work. And all of that is a product of the willingness to fail.
Absolutely, man. And that that just made me think of something, right? Like, and I'm always thinking of some crazy shit. Most of the most of the time when you're speaking and you're ranting, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he's going there, and I just come up with these random ideas, like, how hard is it to fail or to do hard shit when all they do is sell us easy, right?
Mm.
They sell us easy. Everything, right? All right, so everything for us that's hard or semi hard or not even hard, they have something they give us something to make it easier, right? I want to work out, or I want to lose 30 pounds. Here, take this pill. I want to do this. Here, take this. If you look at the commercials, man, you watch TV, it's always a pill or something or an
An app.
activity. Yes, it's something to make things easier, right? And it's it's stuff you don't even notice, right? So it's stuff you don't even notice. So I'm a health not I won't say a health nut, but some people might call me a health nut.
Health conscience.
Yes. I'm the type of dude that's I'm in the grocery store reading ingredients all day, right? So my wife get mad at me because if she send me to the store, or not send me, but if I go to the store and I go for one thing, I'm taking 4 hours because I'm reading fucking ingredients, right? Like what the fuck? I'm not just going to eat this shit if I need to know what's
You know
in
what
it,
the fuck
right?
you eating, man?
Right. So, but it'd be simple shit like I just started making my own mayo and shit.
Mm.
It's very simple, right? It's fucking eggs. It's fucking eggs and oil, right? You whip or you got an immersion blender. You blend that up and whip it up, and it becomes fucking mayo. But how convenient is it? It's already in a fucking jar, man. Like, you feel me? Like, let me just grab this shit off the jar, like off the shelf, man. I don't need to whip up my own mayo when it's right here for me. I don't know what exactly was in it. Oh, I read. Oh, it says a fucking canola oil, this and that. Hey, well, guess what? I don't want to take the time out to make my own mayo, so it's easy. Everything's
Mm.
easy. Bake it, whether you want to bake your own bread or you want to lose your weight or you want to everything. So they sell us easy, but what truly makes us who we are supposed to be is the hardships. So how hard is it to become who you are supposed to be when everything is made to be easier?
So real quick, that made me think of something. But real quick aside, there's gonna be a bunch of people who are going to listen to this who only know you as Duffel, and hearing that you make your own mayonnaise gonna be fucking wild.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even think of that. That just sounds fucking bougie, man. I
Oh
make
shit,
my
nah,
own
but you know
mayo.
what? That's what's up though, because it's so many, like, you know what, the food is a whole different thing. I'm gonna pause. I'll get back to that. But
Right.
what that made me think of is, I don't know if you remember back in the day, Staples used to have these commercials where you hit the easy button, the little red shit for
Yep.
whatever the fuck was going on,
Yep.
and some shit would just pop up. That's what life is now for most people, right? Like, you want food, cool, pull up an app, DoorDash, have somebody else
Yep.
bring you that shit. You're sad, you don't need to make yourself happy, pop this pill. Are you worried
Yep.
about tomorrow? You don't need to fix that, pop this pill. Do you, like you said, you want some mayonnaise? It's the mayonnaise in the jar. You could buy these ingredients so you can mix it together. You can just buy shit. It's already here. You could go
Absolutely.
to they got the Hello Fresh and shit. It's like, you don't even got to buy your own ingredients for your food. We'll ship
Right.
you all of these little individual things in a pack, and you could just throw in the fucking oven, right? But I think, again, and we talk about this all the time about the journey versus the destination, and most people focus on the end product as the point, right? So they want to take the easy route because they just want to get to what they believe to be the end, but that deprives them of the journey. And I think that one of the best things that you could do for yourself going back is shift your focus and learn to take pride in doing the difficult things, right? Like, I get up early as fuck every single day, 3:53. I don't want to do that shit. I never want to get the fuck out of bed. I get the fuck out of bed, do a bunch of push-ups. I don't want to do that either. But I take pride in the fact that I have done the difficult thing, because it would have been real easy to hit the snooze button. It would have been real easy to just close my eyes and wake the fuck up when it is that I wake up. I can put everything I need to do off until later. It's not really going to make a difference, but I wanted to do the challenging thing. And all of the things that you have or can do or can accomplish only really matter because they're difficult. It only matters that people are in shape because it's very difficult to get in shape. It only matters that people have money and fancy cars and all of that shit because these things are difficult to acquire. They take work. Like that's the reason that you see, if you're driving up the street and you see a Phantom, you turn your head to look at it regardless of how you feel about the car, because it's rare, and you don't have the same reaction for a Honda Civic because one is harder to get than the other. It takes
Mhm.
much more work, effort, and hardships, depending on how it is you got your money, to be able to drive around in a Phantom. Everyone has fucking Hondas and Toyotas and shit, so nobody cares. But everyone has the easy thing, and yeah, the easy thing is excuse me, pushed on everybody. But again, I think that goes back to perfect game within a game topic right here is they sell easy because people's natural inclination is to take the path of least resistance, so they capitalize on that, and they pitch you all of the easy solutions to all of these things, so you have all kinds of nonsense that you don't need. And that's from a capitalist perspective, right? But on the other side, if you're constantly selling everyone the easy solutions, you're also priming them to refuse to do difficult things, to not be conditioned for any degree of hardships or challenge or adversity. So when time comes that something is happening that you don't like, you take the easiest path and you go out into the street and you wave a sign or you tweet about something rather than getting the fuck up and doing something about what it is that you don't like. So now you have all of these people who have been, you have hundreds of millions of people who have been conditioned to always do the easiest thing, who come to a point where they don't like what you, the powers that be, whoever it is we would like to quantify that as, they don't like what you're doing. And what do? The easiest thing. They tweet at you because that's what they've been preconditioned to do. And I think that on the deeper level of it, that's the overall point of it, is to is to condition to people to not want to do anything difficult or to run from challenges. That's even how shit is pitched all of the time. Like if you watch TV shows or movies or stuff like that, people always go for the convenience, and they champion the ease with which it is that you could do something, or they make being lazy look glamorous. Like it's in your mind all of the time. It's always do the easy thing, do the easy thing, do the easy thing. It's just like the fucking, damn, I just watched it and I can't. They Live, right? With the glasses. You know, you put the glasses on and you see what the true message is. I think that if you watch, if we put those shades on and we look at a lot of the stuff around you, the mess, it's do the easy thing. Hard things are bad. Avoid difficult things. Avoid adversity. Avoid struggle. All of this, and you just prime this into people, and they're much more malleable and docile and obedient when all you ever want to do is all you ever want to do is the easiest thing. So when they pop up and they tell you, hey, don't go outside without that mask on, you're like, okay, it's just a mask, it's not a big deal. When they pop up and they're like, hey, you gotta get this jab, as the internet says, it's like, okay, it's just a shot, it's not that big of a deal, let me just do it.
I was leading towards that, right? So I was leading towards, okay, is this by design? Of course it is by design, right? You see, even to the point where no one, and us as a collective, we don't even appreciate shooting in the gym, man. And I always go back to sports, man. Like, we don't even appreciate shooting in the gym, man. We just want the finished. We want the finished product, man. Hard work. Like, you can't even. I don't even. No one who wants to discuss Kobe Bryant shooting 5 million jump shots before. Like, who wants to? Right? Like, who wants to discuss that? Let's just discuss the championships, the rings, the MVPs. Who wants to discuss Jordan not being that good? And if I understand the stories to be what the stories are, that he didn't even, I think didn't even make his high school team or some shit like that. He wasn't even good when he started, right? It took immense hard work to become who he had to be. Like, it took hard work to become Michael Jordan. It took hard work to become Kobe Bean Bryant, LeBron James, whoever, right? But we cut out, people don't want to hear that part of the game, right? And that's why I always bring it back to myself and what I had to go through to get to where I had to go, man. It's just not that finished product, man. Everyone wants to look at the end of the game stats, right? And then make a judgment off of that, right? It's you look at the you go to at the end of the game, right? You're looking at the stats and you're saying, "Oh man, this guy, man, he scored 20 points." They don't tell you how he scored the points, right? And how it affected the game, right? It's just the end results, right? And then there's this one guy who just gets the one rebound and it affects the game. I always go back to that analogy because it's dear to heart, because that's a microcosm of what's going on right now. People they don't pay attention. They just pay attention to the end result, the highlight reel, right? The caption, the fancy caption, the fancy. Why read the whole book? Give me the cliff notes, right? Give me the cliff. Why would I read the whole book? Tell me what the book's about, right? Why would I watch this whole podcast? Let me just see the little 5-second clips and make my own judgment off that, right? It's getting to the point where no one wants to see the finished. Well, they want to see the finished product. They don't want to see what it took to make the finished product, right? It's
Mhm.
like, yo, fuck watching this whole movie, man. Just fast forward that shit to the end, man. Like, or matter of fact, fuck even watching the movie. Just tell me what it's about. It's like, just tell me what you think it's about, and I'm gonna take what you think. Look, right. I'm gonna take what you think is about. I'm gonna form my opinion on that,
Off of
and then I'm
your
gonna go,
opinion.
or for your opinion on what you think the movie's about. Then I'm gonna formulate my opinion of what you think of your opinion, and I'm gonna spew that back out to someone else, and then so on and so on and so on. And that's what social media is: a bunch of people spewing out information that they got from a clipboard caption or someone else's idea of what they think of a clip or a caption. And I don't know where it leads you or leads us, but we probably got to fix that. We probably got to get
Man,
ahead of this.
yeah. So the thing is, it's a really strange situation to be in, especially when you know that, when you could see what other people are doing. You know that this is part of what it is that's keeping you exactly where it is that you are, that you claim that you don't want to be, but you keep doing the exact same things and perpetuating this over and over and over again because you refuse to self-analyze or analyze your situation and change what it is. And you don't realize that the fact that you're focusing on the wrong things prevents you from doing the right things, right? Like, you go and you look at the people at the gym and you see the super jacked bodybuilder dude who's been in there for 8 years, and you think, well, I'm never going to be able to look like that, and I just want to look like that. But then you don't after a week or two, and then you give up because you misunderstood what the point of going to the gym was. Or you see the person, somebody wants to rap and they see you putting out all of these fucking albums. They're like, well, I just want to do that and have a bunch of people listen to it. And they put out a thing, it doesn't work, and they quit because they've misunderstood the point. They've understood that there's value in the journey, as opposed to all they're looking for is the final product. It's like you said that they reminds me of, it's Kanye made this Kanye song, The Stronger, that I heard he made like 75 some odd versions of the same exact beat with tiny little tweaks to it before he was finally cool with putting that out, right? So but people see that and they talk about his genius or whatever, but they neglect the fact that this motherfucker slaves for hours, days, and weeks over like the tiniest little details of stuff. And that's what it is that separates these things from just something that exists to just the finished product to an actual masterpiece. And they just want to hear the classic album, but they don't want to watch the person sitting in the studio for 6 months trying to come up with the perfect line to go after this one, right? Or they just hear all of the crafty shit, and you don't think about how many times you flipped words around in your head or whatever the fucking case may be. Obviously I'm speculating here, so I don't rap, but even in general,
you got bars, man. You got bars. You got bars, though.
Even in general, when I'll say some shit, I'll say something and I'll repeat it again and be like, nah, it didn't sound right with this. I gotta say it with a different word, right? Because it's that attention to detail that you're only gonna get when you care about the journey just as much as you do the destination. When you care about the making of just as much as you do the finished product, and it's that it's the unwillingness to put the time into the recipe that prevents people from getting that actual, that good dish that they want right there. So
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, what I think is interesting is no matter how much we sit here and talk about this, or whoever else sits here and talk about this, the vast majority of people will hear it and not care, and then the majority of the people who will hear it will act like it means something or resonates, but they'll continue on doing exactly what the fuck it is that they're going to do, and it will be a very small minority of the small minority of people that fuck with it who actually do something with it, right? But I mean, me personally, I think at the end of the day, that's all you can fucking do. Is that's really what matters.
Yeah, that makes me think of something else, right? And I'm all, here I go again, right? Here I go again. I don't know where I come up with this shit, man. I think that's starting to become the dynamic of this show,
That's
right?
how we rocking, man. We just sparking each other's ideas.
It's materializing right before everyone's eyes, right? And I love throwing you alley oops, man, because you 90% of the times you just fucking reverse slam them shits in. So that just made me think of when we talk about the creatives, right, and creating something. It's a pet peeve of mine, man. Going back to social media, when creatives, when we get on when we get on social media and we get upset when when people don't like our shit, right? And it could be whatever. Like it could be you coming up with a post and people, fuck you or whatever the case may be. You handle it with grace, right? Because you know what comes with it. You know what comes with this shit, man. Like once you put something out for public consumption, why, like, what's the big deal, man? Like people are the only guarantees you have is someone's gonna like it and someone's gonna dislike it. That's what I tell artists, right? They always ask for advice, like, yo, I'm like, Liz, I can only guarantee you this. No matter how bad you are, somebody's gonna like you. No matter how good you are, someone's gonna dislike you. That's the only guarantees I got for you, right? So I just don't understand why people put out shit for public consumption and then say, oh man, yeah, man, you hating, man. You don't understand, man. You ain't. Hey, man, listen. If I didn't want people to critique my album in a negative or positive light, I just don't put the album out. Right? It is what it is. Right? If once you like gladiator sport, once you kind of morph from a spectator into a gladiator, you have a target on your back. But and this goes to my creatives, man. Learn to accept the arrows that are shot at your target, which is on your back, right? Learn to accept it, learn to roll with the punches, learn to say, man, listen, hey man, I appreciate you having an opinion. What I heard this quote, and I forgot who said it, and they said, "The opposite of love is not hate; it's not caring."
Apathy.
Yeah, right. So if someone doesn't even have an opinion, I think that's the worst thing that could be. So, it's hate is an emotion, and hate is an emotion that even comes with love, in my opinion. So even when somebody says, hey man, I hate that, man. If they care enough, right? If they care enough to say these things, that means they're a fan the definition of a fan is a fanatic, right? For instance, I'm a Giants fan. So I'm a Giants fan, die hard. So if I go online and I say and I tweet at the Giants, hey man, fuck you. I hate your fucking guts. You fucking piece of shit organization, right? I'm a fan though. I'm a fan. I just don't. That's the way I'm being. This is my fandom, right? I'm negatively, spewing out these words because I'm a fan. And then one instance, I'm like, man, I love y'all, man. That's part of being a fan. So as a creative, you gotta learn to roll with the punches, man. Because that person that's hating your shit, that's a fan, man. That is a fan.
I say all of the time, everybody supports me. Some people just show it in weird ways. So if you pop up talk about fuck me, cool, that's love to me. It is what it is. But
Uh-huh.
I think that A large part of that is because people seek validation from all of these outside sources. So when they put something out, whether you share your opinion, whether you create an album, whether you draw a fucking picture, I don't know, they put so much into people disliking their shit because they also put so much into people liking their shit. And I think what's important is, again, going back to working on yourself, is to build yourself into somebody that you're proud of, and only create things that you are proud to put out. If you make a song, you should love this song. You shouldn't be creating the song just because you think people are going to like it, or someone's going to be like, ooh yeah. Or you shouldn't be drawing this picture just for the applause. You shouldn't be making your fucking post saying whatever the fuck it is just because you want applause. It's you should be doing it because this is a thing that's true to you, that you are proud that you have created. Like, whatever I go and say, if I go and say something, however anybody feels about it, I fucking said it because I believe it. Everyone in the world could tell me that I'm stupid and wrong. That's fucking fine. I disagree with all of you. This is what I think. Fuck how you feel about it. And that's what people should be doing with their music, with their artwork. I drew this picture. I love this picture. Fuck how each and every single one of y'all feel about it, because I like the picture. This is my shit. I created this. I'm proud of this. And that's always going to be first and foremost where your validation should come from, but it's the only place that your validation ever really can come from, right? Because all the external shit is fake. None of it is real. None of it matters. Like, you want other people's acceptance, but it doesn't really matter if you don't accept you. You're just trying to sit there and band-aid your actual problems with all of this shit. So that's and people put so much into these critiques or other people's opinions. But with all of that being said, I don't want to skip over what it is that you said, because that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, which is, no matter how good what you put out is, somebody's going to hate it. And no matter how bad it is, somebody is going to fuck with it. That is such a fucking hell. That's a fucking gem. Because in either direction, there's nothing that you could do to please everybody, and there's nothing that you could do that everybody is going to fucking hate. So you might as well be you and do you to the fullest fucking extent in whatever direction it is. No one is always going to like you, and no one is always going to hate you. It doesn't fucking matter. Someone's going to hate you no matter what. So fuck it. Say what you want, be who you want to be, do what you want to do your shit. Someone is always going to have a problem with it. If I get online and enough people see me say that I like the movie Star Wars, someone is going to tell me that's stupid and I should kill myself. Like, it could be the most fucking innocuous opinion ever. Hey, being alive is better than dying. Someone will pop up and tell me that's insensitive to the people who aren't alive anymore, or some shit. Like, there's nothing that you can say or do that everyone is going to like. But in the opposite direction, there's nothing that you could do or say that everyone's going to hate. It doesn't matter what it is. So just be yourself, be the best version of you that you can be, and just roll with it.
And with that being said, right, I'll leave people with this, man. Shout out all my artists and content creators and just people online who block those people for the mental peace. Right? Shout out y'all motherfuckers blocking motherfuckers for your mental peace and all this fucking bullshit, man. Look, if you can't handle somebody heckling you online and you gotta block them for your mental peace, and why the fuck are you on X for mental peace anyway, man? Or like, yo, dog, I've never had to block anybody because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck enough for me to be like, my mental peace. I'm not on X for mental peace, man. So listen, man, that's not what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna block you. You can say whatever you could think of in your head to me online. It doesn't matter to me. Well, you'll never see me. You'll never say that to me in person. I understand. I even understand you. I even put myself in your shoes and I understand you. Why would I block someone I understand? Right? I understand what type of person you are, where you are in life. For you to create a tweet that saying "fuck me" or "you piece of shit," or I understand where you're at in life. So, nah, I'm not gonna block you, man. You're not interrupting my mental peace. I don't give a fuck. Shout out though. Shout out to them artists blocking everybody for mental peace and stupid
Shout
shit like
out to everyone whose mental health is disturbed by comments from strangers on the internet. I can go all in on that, but I'm going to leave it here. If a comment or a direct message is somehow disturbing your well-being or inner peace, you are 1000% a bitch.
Hey, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I had to call out the bitch assery at some point. Like
man up, man. Man,
stop
the fuck
being a bitch. That is bitch shit.
I gotta protect my. I gotta protect my mental. Man,
I gotta protect my peace. Why the fuck are you so goddamn fragile? The fuck is wrong with you? Some fucking letters on the internet have broken you. Shut the fuck up.
That's gonna piss people off. But hey, man, we're here to help. Right?
Here's if this makes you mad, it should, because that means that's about you. Because if I say that you're a bitch because you were crying over tweets and you get mad, it's because you know you're a bitch for crying over tweets. Fucking fix it. Stop being such a bitch. This is not my fault. I just shone the light on you. I am the mirror. I didn't make you look stupid. I just showed you that you do.
And that's that, man. Like and like I said, people are gonna get upset by that, but hopefully
they're crying over tweets. Fuck it.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll find some strength in that. Us calling you a soft piece of shit,
little bitch.
Yeah, like it's not bad. It's not bad.
If it offends you, it applies to you. And rather than crying about it, you need to figure out why and fix that shit. Like that's.
How about this, right? Let's go on X or Instagram. I don't know if you could block people. I don't know the process. Go unblock everybody that you blocked, man. Go. That's what we're gonna do, man. Go on X, go on Instagram, and if you can block people on Instagram, I don't know. Go unblock everybody you have blocked. That, right? So this goes back to our other point of will and strengthening that mental fortitude that you need to succeed, right?
Fortitude. Yep.
Right. So this is the first exercise that we got for you guys. Go on your social media and unblock everyone who's called you a piece of shit and cursed you out. Unblock all those people, right? And sit there and take them bludgeoning you with comments. And once you become numb to that, I think that is the first step for you to go out in the world and start to fail, right? So, because if you can't take someone heckling you online, you're not going to be able to take the failures and the ups and downs that come with life. So that's the first exercise we have for you guys.
That is the anti-bitch assery exercise of the day.
Go unblock everybody, man. God damn.
Let them talk to shit and learn to fucking deal with it. It's just some words.
Yeah. That's how we gonna end this motherfucker, man.
That's how we out, motherfuckers. Fucking outro. Stop being a bitch. Unblock the people on all of the platforms.
Game within a game. Peace the fuck out.